When you ask me that question, youth, that goes across the world, and we have to look at it from a global perspective. Youth, today's youth, they are very, I would say, they're very aware on one side, and the second is their access to technology and media, especially with respect to mobile phones and computers and whatnot, is right up there. It's very high. So it all comes down to low cost availability sort of a scenario where youth have easier access to it. The second thing is, another thing which becomes a challenge for youth is, in some places, may not be in all places, is the safety and security of the physical safety, and e-learning certainly solves that part of it as well. See, cultural obstacles today, my talk has been with the perspective from Saudi Arabia. We are standing in UAE, and we are, I think, about 2 minutes that way into Sharjah, which is, I don't know if you know this or not, but where we are standing is a very interesting place, because over here the laws are different, and if I walk 5 minutes that way, even within UAE the laws are different. So when we look at e-learning, and e-learning breaking the barriers and breaking cultural barriers especially, and I look at Saudi. Now, people talk so much about so many things in terms of Saudi this, Saudi that, and there are barriers. Yes, there are barriers, but we have to overcome those barriers. And but we always have to be careful. We have to overcome those barriers in a way where we don't challenge the cultural norms. Cultural norms do not change overnight, as technology has changed very fast. Sadly enough, or good or bad, whatever, cultural norms do not change that fast. So when we look at them, what we see in Saudi Arabia, for example, is that females, who make up 51% of the demographic Saudi population, they have access, unrestricted access to smartphones and other technological equipment, which they would not have that kind of access to the physical classroom. There are a number of different other elements where a female cannot be alone with a male, and a male sometimes in some settings may or may not be able to teach a female may not be able to teach a whole male class. So those barriers have been broken. Now a huge array of e-learning resources is available to all the females across Saudi Arabia, across anywhere. And those kind of cultural norms, e-learning becomes very important, because we can promote learning while respecting the local laws and local customs, and without challenging them, thus closing the windows on us as people who are trying to deliver that e-learning. And it certainly plays off. Just imagine a conservative father of a 17-year-old or 16-year-old anywhere in the world, forget about Saudi for a second, and tell them, I am a guy and I'm going to be spending the next 4 hours with your daughter in a closed room, and see what the answer comes. And I mean anywhere in the world. And for a change, tell that same father, okay, here's a computer and your daughter is going to be learning something within her own, the privacy of her own room. So I think that's how the cultural norms are certainly broken.